What's happening, everyone, and welcome back to 212 Projects. So it's the week after our last show, which was Wheels and Lakes in Cumbria. If you haven't watched the vlog from last weekend, then go and watch it. It was a cracking show and a great weekend. The whole team was down. Yes, the weather wasn't on our side, but it cleared up later on in the day. But go and watch the vlog because it was a great weekend. But because that was our last show and show season's pretty much nearly over, it doesn't mean that the work stops. Planning for next year has already started and we can't wait to see how next year plays out. And this. So you would have seen on the last video that it passed its MOT, which is great, absolutely brilliant, but we've not had it out driving yet, and it wasn't at Wheels and Lakes because it hasn't been mapped. So that's getting done on Tuesday, which means we can finally take it out for a proper drive, its first maiden voyage, give it a shakedown and hopefully nothing falls off. But we'll need to wait to see how that goes. So like I said, although show season is pretty much over, work is already started for next year, but that's like the kind of merch and show side of things. We still need to keep up the motivation and momentum on this. It's so close to being finished, but nowhere near where I want it to be. So fingers crossed we can get the Corsa finished by the end of this year. Whether that happens or not, we don't know. We're running a very tight budget. This is all self-funded, so it is. Yes, the proceeds from the merch in the online shop really do help, but the majority of that, if not all of that, goes back into the merch in the shop and providing you with the best streetwear and accessories that we could possibly do. So because all the money goes straight back into the shop, it means this is entirely self-funded by myself. So although progress has been great on this, we've got it to a point where we've almost got it to a point where we can take it out, drive it, take it to a show or a cars and coffee meet, or take it to the shops, and it works and it's great and it looks kinda okay. But like I said, it's absolutely nowhere near where I want it to be, and yes, I want it finished by the end of the year, but again, it's entirely self-funded, so it all depends on funds. Time, plenty of time. Well, I say I've got plenty of time, but as we know, that runs out very fast, especially when you've got a deadline. So I'm waffling on, enough of me talking. It's getting mapped on Tuesday, but another piece of the body kit has finally showed up. No, it's not the arches. Again, we'll get into that eventually. The next piece is the spoiler, and I'm so excited to put that spoiler on because it would just, yes, it looks good with the bumpers on, but the spoiler will just be the wee cherry on top. It will just make it look so much more max power and so much more stupid, and I can't wait. So we're going to put the spoiler on, or we're going to attempt to put the spoiler on now, and then we'll see what's next. So here is the spoiler. So here is the spoiler. It's going to look absolutely mad sitting on the boot of the Corsa. So there's got a wee bit of work to do to get this fitted, but we'll get cracked on. So now it's all marked out on this spoiler, I now need to drill some holes. So the best way that I can see, or the way I'm going to do it, is I'm going to drill holes on the legs in this spoiler, use the holes to mark out these holes, and then drill these holes. Whether that's the right way or not, I don't know, but it's the way I'm doing it. So to mount the spoiler, some people just bond them on, but I don't like that because I've always got the fear that it comes flying off when I'm driving. So I actually got this idea from one of the boys on one of the Facebook pages. I bought these. It's like furniture kind of screw-in inserts. So I'm going to use them on this. I'm going to epoxy them in so that they're nice and strong, and then that means that this spoiler can bolt onto this spoiler, and fingers crossed it won't come flying off in the bypass. Well, that's the plan anyway. So now I'm going to mark out the holes on this and drill this, and then like I said, use this to mark out the holes on this. So let's go drill some holes. So it's the next day. I've left the epoxy resin to dry overnight and they are solid. So now it's time to bolt the two spoilers together, and then we can get it on the car and see how it looks. So the next job on the list is this. Fitting a fire extinguisher inside the car. Now this should have probably been done a long time ago, but rule number 3 states safety third. So it's only fitting that a fire extinguisher is an afterthought. But regardless, we're here now. So we're going to fit it in the passenger side footwell somewhere. I will be getting bucket seats for this. When that happens, I'll probably get a mount or a bracket and fit it properly and bolt it to like underneath the seat. But for now, we're just going to find a place to mount this just so it's inside the car. Obviously I'm hoping I never need it, but it's there if I do. And let's be honest, I've done the wiring and the fuel lines on this, so it's a good idea to have a fire extinguisher inside the car. So we're going to work out where to mount it, get it mounted, and then tick that off the list. So there we go, fire extinguisher is mounted. It's not in its final position. Like I said, once I get bucket seats, I'll get a bracket and mount it to the seat rails properly. But for now, it's there, it's in the car. Fingers crossed I never need it, but it's there if I do. Next, I'm going to try and mount and wire in the second fan, because I don't know if one fan is going to be enough. So for my own peace of mind, I'm going to mount and wire in the second fan. Then that's that done. I know that the fans will cool it down if and when I need to. And then after that, should be time to get it mapped, and then we can actually take it out and drive it. However, until then, like I said, next on the list is the second fan. Hopefully get that mounted and then go from there. So it turns out that the second fan doesn't fit. I bought, I think it was two 10-inch fans and the radiator's not big enough for two 10-inch fans. So I'm obviously going to keep the one fan that's on it the now, and I'll run it like that, and fingers crossed. It should be fine. It's more for my own peace of mind and my own paranoia of this thing overheating. Yeah, it should be fine. I might get a second smaller fan, maybe a 9 or an 8-inch fan, just to fit in next to it. Again, just for one piece of mind, but it absolutely should be fine with the one 10-inch fan. So I'm going to run it like that. So today is Monday night. Well, tonight is Monday night, and this is getting mapped tomorrow, so Tuesday, and then this time tomorrow night we should be out driving about in the max power Z20LET CORSA. So that's if it all goes to plan, which, knowing me and this entire build, it probably won't, but we can be hopeful. So like I said, might order a second fan, fire extinguishers in, spoilers on, so all that's left is to get it mapped, and hopefully you'll be seeing that now. What's happening? So a bit of an anticlimax, but the Corsa is now mapped. It's not like a full remap, all the bells and whistles. It's just to get everything mapped in and running safe. I'm not chasing power, it's still running standard power, it's just running safe, which is what I wanted. I didn't film any of it because I didn't want to get in the guy's way and shove a camera and while he's here to do a job. But I do want to say a massive thank you to Pete from Angel Tuning for coming down and getting the Corsa running safe. However, big news, because after nearly 5 months of waiting, being constantly lied to, constantly let down, false promises, no communication, the final piece of the body kit is finally here. That's right, the arches have finally showed up. They showed up yesterday. That means that over winter we can finally get the full max power combat kit on the Corsa and get it prepped for wrap. Can't believe that they're finally here. It's been so long and so much hassle to get these, but they're here and it's done now. We can finally get them on the car. So what happens now? Well, the car's running safe. It's MOT'd, it's taxed and insured, which means we can finally take it out for its first drive and see how it goes. So come with me for the Corsa's first drive. So there we go, the Corsa's first maiden voyage was a success. We didn't stay out too long. It was, as you can see, the weather is horrendous. We did get a couple of clips. There's a few issues we need to sort, but we can get that later on. However, the Corsa left here under its own steam and arrived back under its own steam, which is a major achievement. I am so buzzing that it works. So we're going to put the Corsa back in before it gets flooded and then get to work on sorting the issues. But as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.